morning, good evening, good afternoon, where you're at in this really, really, really big world of ours. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this evening for me. I hope everyone um, had a good weekend with their family, friends. If you don't have none of that, I just hope you had a good weekend to self, to reflect, plan, no, just being with you and yourself. Sometimes we do need time to ourselves. I love being with myself. So I'm sure that when that time comes for me to mingle out there and get out there, be a real. Oh gosh, I know, right? But I'm young still. I told myself, oh, but I'm young. But so when it's time to get out there, I'll be able to be ready to fraternize and shit. Okay, enough about me. Okay, I don't want to get into that. That we're not here for that. We're not here about that because this is never about me. This is always about what we're on. And right now we're talking about Atlanta street interviews and Magas. He has arrived. He has arrived. He showed his old scruffy dog looking fucking face. This pitiful ass motherfucker. Hold on, please. This is a pitiful. It's pitiful. He just he came on today and he did his thing, and as usual, my homegirl Motor Goat was saying how he had his child with him. He always pick out one of those homeless stories where people, thank you Marcus, he's helping someone, or he pulls out the baby or whatever, the girls, and we just really don't give a fuck, Marcus. Hi Taylor, excuse me, you guys. Hello, my Taylor. Good evening. I hope you had a good weekend with your family, Taylor. Great seeing you, Mama. Who that sound like, Mama? Does he still do that? I haven't heard him in a long time. I don't know if you heard him, but yes, that's my sister Taylor. Hold on, please, y'all. So he comes on, as Mo said, he had his child with him. And everybody's covering the obvious. Everyone's covering the obvious. Marcus coming on, trying to raise money, going his other channels, other sites. Not saying he was going to stop spicy content, but instead deflecting, stating that he was lied to. It doesn't matter if you were lied to. You weren't lied to because you said you checked her ID. So that just throws that shit out the fucking window. So anyway, here we go. So everyone's going over that, the obvious, him talking too much while, he has an investigation. Marcus did state, which I was in Mo's chat, he did state, he did two videos with Polo. He was picking up somebody with Polo and then he was taking Polo someplace, right? Two videos, excuse me, please. Oh, you think he said that, Taylor? Okay, excuse me, guys. And so that's my homegirl Motor Goat. That's my homegirl. She from my favorite place, Louisiana. If y'all know, I love Louisiana men. I love Louisiana people, Louisiana culture. I just love it. But they can keep that Mecca high voodoo shit. They can put roots on me. Y'all get that shit. But anyway, not about me. Let's get back to Marcus, okay? So anyway, he has his daughter in this car and he's having these inappropriate conversations around his daughter. And I noticed that before when they were out vacationing and he was talking about vaginas, and both of his daughters were like not even 3 feet away from him. So to answer y'all, the Marcus children, the long question, everyone was waiting for this long awaiting question. Do you think Marcus children watch this content? I told you, motherfuckers, they have been exposed to the fullest. Just like he was exposed to that pornographic material with his mother and father having intercourse, and his brother was, and his father was taking him to hit the mistress's houses to have intercourse in the bedroom while he was in the living room, hearing his father and the woman with the passion sounds. And I think that's why Vibes Queen identifies with him, because she brought a stranger in her house too. Shout out to my boy KOC. But she brought a stranger, because that was a stranger to her. And she brought him in her house with her children, and she was having intercourse. And it was rumored that her children said they heard something as their children. And she said, oh, we have ghosts in the house. But she was really getting her back busted out by my homeboy. I mean, this bitch had no respect for her children, so I mean, Marcus and her relate to that, so kind of thing. Okay, fuck off that Bigfoot bitch. But back to Marcus. So he brings this child on and he's talking. He says, yeah, because they even said, she was a lesbian. My baby mother was never a lesbian. No, maybe not, but she probably did have intercourse with women with you, because that's the type of shit you're into. See, regular casual, we touch here, we kiss there, we nip here, we smack here, little tight little pull here, tug here, choke here. Whatever y'all into, you know what I'm saying? But no, he's into it all. I mean, this girl on girl action is this foreplay for Marcus. Most people, that would be the ultimate main event. No, for Marcus, that's first base to Marcus. Marcus is into some shit. What up? I'm terrific. Um, Marcus is into some shit. So he's having this conversation with his daughter there about these charges. And, oh, I had to tell my family to be prepared. But his daughter's been watching this stuff. So the answer to the question, yeah, I fucking said it. I'm talking about the Avatar, saying his kids are probably going to be big sluts. I'm with it all the way, and I was with it. But people don't like to talk about people's children. You have to, because you have to understand his daughter is about to go off to college or whatever. She's going to be a pass around to white boys, because she only dates white boys. Remember that. She's going to be a pass around. She's going to come back, and you're going to see Marcus on camera in a few years. For some reason, I just don't think he's going to go to jail right now. I think it's going to be like a Nature Boy thing. Remember they kept on playing with Nature Boy? He would get arrested. He'd be held, and everybody like, is this it? Is this it? And no. And every time he went further and further and further. Marcus is going to go further. He's not going to get caught with a minor no more. But it's going to be some other shit. Like I said. They need to investigate him. That prostitute, Strawberry, that old lady that was a prostitute, what's her name, Strawberry, a few videos ago, she said they finding hoes, DOA and shit like that. And Marcus was like, oh, really, I ain't hear that, but he is about everything else. So, people with those type of personalities, they're into all types of things, usually extra extreme deviant behavior, especially behavior with prostitutes, leads to other things, if y'all get what I'm saying. You get what I mean? A lot of these cases that we watch about these people like Bundy and them, they started with, well, not Bundy, but the Green River and all of them. They started with sex workers and stuff like that. The Bianchi cousins, they started with, that's the Hillside Strangler, if you don't know. I mean, they started out. So, I feel like this investigation can open a lot off, open a lot or whatever. I'm not calling him that, but at this point, I'm not satisfied with just him being a pervert, because it's like, if he's so open to show us that and stuff like that, then it's a deeper, darker secret. To us, that would be like, oh my gosh, I don't want nobody to know that, such and such of my family's a pervert. Or if you a pervert, not to Marcus' extent that you having sex with sex workers, I'm talking about just a freak, super freak. We come in your bedroom, you got all types of straps and double headers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That type of freak. But you just don't want it, even though it's normal sex play to some, you still don't want. First of all, it's your business. We're adults, right? We're not teenagers, and we're not sharing sex details. I am not big on that. You're not gonna know what my man and I do. I might say that it was so much sin going on in the room, we couldn't even look at each other in the morning. That's all I probably say. You get what I'm saying? But otherwise, nah, and then that's if I say anything. But Marcus is free to share this, and we have other pubescent violators too. You have to understand that Marcus was the type of child that played and violated other children. Probably. You get what I'm saying? Probably. Allegedly. That's what people like to say. I just don't give a fuck. I'm not monetized. Allegedly. You get what I'm saying? Children, no. And like P did put up on, people that will violate his children generally don't go on to violate other people. But when you have them at that age, when such crazy stuff, to see your mother and father. I know people that walked in and their parents were traumatized. I remember my parents getting kissing or whatever in the living room, just kissing, dancing and kissing, off of some. I ain't gonna tell y'all because then y'all know how old I am. But they were dancing and they were kissing in the room, and the room was there. And I remember them just kissing and embracing. This is slow dance. I know nasty grinding. There's two people, and I remember I was like, oh hell no. And I remember be like 4 or 5 years old. I was like, hell no. And I remember standing, getting in between them, cock blocking and shit like that. Like, no, you don't. And then they picked me up. My dad put me on the shoulder, and then he put on something speedy so we could dance, disco, whatever. My father danced like a little flying monkey. That man can't dance. But anyway, that's That's natural stuff, and that was natural affection, embrace. They wasn't grinding or tongue kissing, just just dancing. When I came in and I was like, "Hey, you guys," what I'm saying? What the fuck you doing? Get your hands off my mama, and mama, get your hands off my pappy. You know what I'm saying? But and then they put on some Fast Temple stuff, some Donald Summers or some shit like that, and then we just started all dancing in the living room and stuff like the Penis Gallery. You know what I'm saying? But that's natural. I've never seen my father and my mother have intercourse, and I know people that have walked in on their parents being intimate by accident. Because kids don't knock, and they were traumatized to that day. They were like, "Yo, I remember my friend. His father died, and he was cleaning out the attic, and he found pictures of his mother when she was like her late teens, when his father was in the Korean War, matter of fact, and she had sent some pictures, if you get what I'm saying, some pictures, and yeah, bitches was sending bush pictures back then too. Shit, this ain't no new thing. And he said he was a white guy, God rest his soul. He was like, "Oh my gosh, Shaniqua. Oh gosh. I seen Merle." I said, "What you mean you seen Miss Merle?" "No, fuck that. I seen Merle. I was cleaning out the container and she's out there full bush, just straddling something. I seen Merle, and it was to my father, and it was written in the back saying, 'Yeah, wait till you get home. You can bury your face.'" He said, "That was just fucking disgusting. Oh my gosh, Merle." That's natural. Marcus says, "Yeah, I watched my parents have. I saw a tape. I heard that, but I can imagine his voice. That laugh, that undertone of snark. That's not normal." And they were just talking about. They had asked him when he was on Yarbo's a month ago or so. They had asked him, "Would you watch a intimate scene on Flick with someone someone your family?" And he said, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, that's his mind. So for us to try to make this guy understand he's not normal, he definitely have a diagnosis. I was in P's chat saying he went through 6 therapists, and if you notice when he's talking to the boys, and I call them boys because they're young dudes, they're 25 and under, K3 in them. When he's talking to them, "Oh, you got to take accountability, and you got to always not be so emotional. You got to be stoic at times." These are things, and I keep telling you, these are things his therapist said to him. Um, these are things his therapist said to him, and now he's using it on people. It's called the mirror effect. You can look it up. So all he's doing, and with the mirror effect, layman's terms, deflection. I'm bouncing off from me. I'm projecting, self-projection. That's all the mirror effect is. We got to look it up. We already know what projection is. We got to be fancy with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Dr. Phil Ayala. You and I, we just talking here. I'm in my room. I'm sitting in front of the window, and I'm just talking to y'all. Y'all in y'all house. We just talking, just good friends. You know what I'm saying? Good virtual friends. You have neither. Well, terrific. I'm glad. What you mean, what DNA, Mo? Mo, I'm looking. What you mean, Mo? Um, But he's there with the daughters, so the daughters have been exposed, and the girl's gonna be a pass around for white boys. She's gonna come back with blonde nappy hair, that kinky blonde hair they be having is never quite straight, and light contacts, and possibly bleaching her skin. Them damn West Indians like to bleach their skin, and that's just that. I mean, I just don't know what else to tell you. I said either one is gonna be a straight Mo, close your fucking ears, nigga. A straight bulldagger. You know what I'm saying? Not even a lesbian, not a no. She's not gonna be a regular lesbian. She not gonna be a regular stud muffin. She gonna be with your grandmother's elbow dagger. That's what she's gonna be. The other one, bet money on it. She's gonna have a disdain for men like them white feminists. They hate men. They want to burn them at stake. She's not gonna be a STEM. You know what I mean? With a little lipstick and dribble a little basketball. She not gonna be the brat. No, she gonna be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That be bandaging her titties up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, look at the father. Look at the father, and then he goes, "Oh, they're gonna spend time with the mother." So now he throws his whole family in like they're one big family, even though his daughters live with him. They're one big family now. "Oh, I'm dropping over to the mother so they can have some. She can have a few hours with the kids. A few hours? Those are fucking children. Why she didn't have the whole weekend with her? So what's up with her? Did she go to a rehab or something like that?" Now these are questions we need to ask. Y'all just be like, "Hold on." These are things that we need to ask. Why for a few hours? Like it's like a what do you call it? Them scheduled court ordered visits. You know, like your court ordered, like you can't be around the children anymore. What the fuck happened? Because Marcus got those kids all of a sudden. He ain't having one day. He goes, "Oh yeah, my daughters are gonna stay with me," and then they were there. What happened? That's not like a court order visit. A lot of shit is going on in Marcus's life, and Marcus opened Pandora's box. So no, this I don't think nothing's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be like a nature boy thing, on and off. I think he's gonna be looked at. Um, but I don't think nothing much is gonna happen because it doesn't sound like that Kellen's mother. It doesn't sound like she's gonna do much. She sounds tired, and it's just like fuck it. You guys are pressuring her to step up and do more than what she wants to do. She's tired. When you have a teenager like that, it's tiring. Like I told you, my sister ran my mother ragged. It is fucking exhausting. And she has another fucking child. People say, I think Vibes Queen was trying to be funny. She goes, oh yeah, because she don't care because, like she said, she has to school shop for the other kids. So what is fucked the other kid? And that's a lot of times what happens. When you have a child that runs you ragged, the other child gets neglected and they become resentful. I told you about my homeboy, his sister ran his mother ragged, and he talks about they had to, when being five, he said between the ages of 5 and 12 years old, he had to go back and forth like 2 3 times a week, miss school sometimes so he could go with his mother to family court and stuff like that, dealing with his sister. Come on, man. Nah, she's doing what she needs to do. Kellen is about to be a parent right now. That little girl needs to get herself in a young mother's program, finish school, and do what she needs to do. Her mother's tired. I don't know why everybody's blaming the mother. You could be raised the right way. You still want to do what the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That little girl wasn't dirty like Troy and them said. Her braces was clean and lined up and shit like that, tightened. You know, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But she just, you know what I'm saying? But Marcus is a turn off. So when his children turn any which way, I mean, for them to hear that conversation was the most inappropriate thing ever. That is equal to Lisa having that conversation about sending her nudes being out on the World Wide Web with her son. I said, how are these people raising their children? And if y'all have children, nieces and nephews in there, and in your family, these are the kids you want to keep them away from. We tend to think that these adults are the predators. Yes, the adults are the fucking predators, but their children or the children they're around, they're the junior predators. They're the ones that are telling your children, oh, let's do this do that. We know those children because we met those children as children, and as a child you'd be like, my mama said, don't let nobody touch me in my special spot. My mama said, don't let nobody touch me. You know what I'm saying? You had some kids, they trusted other kids because it may have been another family member, another kid, and they went along with it. You know what I'm saying? A child is at no fault, right? They are not at no fault. The dangerous part is when this child is doing it to other children. This is the fucking problem. Because now it's a vicious circle. And that child, a lot of times, that's doing it to other children, that's taking the child. They're taking the child to another part of the household to sneak away and do it. That's a child that's manipulative to adults because they had to be, because they come from somebody fucking them over. So now that child is junior predator. You know what I mean? And they're taking this child to another destination. That's predatory behavior, to fuck with them and fuck them over. I was watching a very good clip of a content creator from the beef sector had. Oh, this was like many moons ago. If I They had put a short up, and it was like after the holidays, and it was somebody talking about, yo, stop having your children in the room by yourselves while the adults are having y'all might have seen a clip a few years ago, while the adults are having fun downstairs playing cards or whatever during the holidays. Stop leaving those kids upstairs by themselves. And I said, absolutely positively right. Stop. Because one or two of those children, if you have 10 children, it's one or two of those children that somebody did something so fucked up to. One of those children are still victimized that will never do anything, and the other one just turned into a junior predator. They already touched 4 other kids in that fucking room because of an adult. That adult would be fucking the motherfucker that we talking about now. That child would be his child. Do you get what I'm saying? I brought y'all all around the world in Yaya to bring y'all back to the same fucking circle. That's his child. His child didn't even squint. You know how I would be embarrassed. Their father's face is on screen. They don't mind being on screen. They have peers and stuff like that. No fucks are given. They don't care. They don't see nothing wrong. It's too late. It's really too late. That's my take on it. And y'all can say, hey, dear self, you wrong. No, I'm not wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Do I fault them? No. The breaking thing is going to be when they, after they're 18, when they're adults, what they do after that. I hope and I pray that they're not doing that to other children, but I wouldn't want my teenagers around them. Um, they know too much. They know way too much, knowing who their father is. They know way, 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 way too much. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a chance. It's too much of a chance. Teenagers are reckless too. So, I mean, the daddy don't use condoms. I wouldn't think that. I bet Marcus' children are very active, already active, and he knows that or whatever. That's why he tells us he doesn't care. You know, they're going to do whatever they want. And God dang it. God dag it. God dag it. I ain't going to be blasphemous. I just fucking thought of something. Yo, you know how everybody just talk about Marcus? They said, Marcus, how would you feel if it's your children? He said, well, my daughters would, I don't think my daughters would be in that position. But he always said if they make that decision, they're grown. And as long as they know what they're doing, you understand what I'm saying? So that's already the mindset of their kids. They've had plenty of open talks about, you know, what do you think about this girl? What would you do if you were her, or whatever like that? That's a very open household. That's a hedonistic household. A very hedonistic, almost. And you know, people don't realize that you can be ancestral by what he's doing is very ancestral. What he's doing is exposing them to sex. A lot of this stuff is stuff that he's doing on tape. Marcus is started his shows too. His kids are exposed to this shit. For him to have these conversations about what happened, he was like, I was set up. Not that, why would you even have this so your daughters know you're doing pornographic content when young girls their age? Because he said, I was lied to. She was supposed to be 18 years old. His daughter is 17. Do you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if he's using his daughters to bait other young teenagers that are 18 to come over to that house or maybe meet him. B, B, B. I just broke it down. I wasn't even thinking about that. Y'all might be saying this bitch smoke a little bit too much reefer. I'm trying to tell you. I'm talking to y'all. And as I'm talking to y'all, I lie to you not. I'm going through this live mentally in my head. You know, I ain't going to play nobody shit. I'm going through this live in my head. And don't nobody take offense to me saying play nobody shit. These motherfuckers is trifling out here because they don't give a fuck about no fair use. They using my stuff, and you use like 2 seconds of it. These people are just so dumb. They so dumb because they be wanting to silence you. They just dumb. But anyway, they cry babies too. Those motherfuckers that's like that cry babies. Like big fucking deal. Shit. I like real motherfuckers. You use their life to drag them, and they be like, I'm going off topic. You use their life to drag them. And they be like, motherfucker, that was a good drag. Fuck you, nigga. If I was an asshole, I would pop you for using my shit. But I don't give a fuck, bitch. Good one. I'm that. I'm like that. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But let me read the chat before I go back, okay? Let me read the chat. Let me respect my peoples because they talking to me and I'm talking to them. But I didn't want to look down. You don't know what be going on with the yep. No, I remember sneaking out of my room peeking, but nothing was going on. But I sure did go look. Them kids while them adults drinking and smoking. Yes, exactly. Yep, he always said that way before that spicy shit. Yeah, so we already know how the kids grew up. And why is the mother having these arranged visitations? She's going to spend a couple of hours with the girls and then drop them back off. Those are court order visitations. You don't say it like that. And that's not, it wouldn't be just for a couple of hours. Something's going on. He has full custody and he's a pervert. But for some reason, and let me tell you about Georgia and Florida. Okay, I'm not saying this happened, right? And I'm not calling no dog whistle for nobody to check in to see why he had those fucking kids through them documents. Because you know people will do that. Hello, Vibrant. Great to see you, Vibrant. Vibrant, great to see you, Vibrant. As always, my love. Um, Somebody's gonna look and see why he had those children. It's rhyme and reason. It may just be not on court documents, but it just seems like it's very organized. When he said that today, I'm listening to everything else. Everybody's listening to him, whether he's gonna say he did it to them girls and stuff like that. I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to the background. I said, who's that female in the background? I know he don't got another homeless motherfucker in the background, and I realized, oh, that's his daughter, and he's talking, and people are like, oh, he wasn't really talking about that. No, he talked enough about it, but I wouldn't want to have that conversation in front of my daughter. You want your daughters to see you as a hero. You're saying to yo, people think I'm a predator. He tries to play this smug. Why do y'all hate me? I'm just innocent. So to play this, and his daughters watch his content. Now we do know they watch his content. Why do you hate me? He's saying this in front of his daughter. His daughter doesn't even she's just like, oh my gosh, he talked about mom. So that means we have a family of sickos. We over there in the other channel, whatever LA and them channel, they're asking about his mother, calling his mother out by first name. This is the type of family. His mother was on the VHS with the father. I'm not saying that couples. They were a married couple. If they want to make them a tape, they make themselves a motherfucking tape. I'm not saying that, but I think that these are people very open sexually. You have to be open sexually to agree to be on tape. You have to. You understand what I'm saying? Either young or sexually free. So I think that they grew up in a house. You have households like that, that people walk around, mother and father walk around naked, and it's like, oh, it's just a human body. It's no big deal. You have parents still taking fathers taking showers with their daughters at 4 or 5 years old. I mean, look at Tommy Sotomayor. You get what I'm saying? So these are the households people come out of. You know what I mean? So now we understand the breakdown of markets. We don't have to. Everybody's looking at what he's saying. I'm looking at what he's not saying and the thing, the little tidbit. No, not what he's not, the things he is saying, but he's not. He's dropping little tidbits of it. I'm listening to his background. I'm listening to his children's reactions because I always find it funny. And they said that he has his daughter's pictures, not nothing spicy, but on that spicy content channel. And I never understood why he talked about his family in the same sense as he's talking about something pornographic. There's no way I would talk about sexual encounters and talk about a deceased parent or a child. That's very awkward. I remember my ex fiance and I was getting it in, and my mama happened to call and shit like that. I'm just like, yo, that was the end of that. That was the end of that. Even he went down. He heard her ring. He's like, oh shit. He even went down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a kind of, and that wasn't even his mother, but it was the kind of thing that this is what these people are. They're open. They're hedonistic. We have to understand that. And I understood that from the time when he brought Polo around his family and stuff like that. And Polo hasn't did a scene yet, but this is what Marcus is about. And they all acted like Marcus was such a great guy, but everybody sees Marcus. Why would y'all ask? Do you think his family sees it? Oh, well, and people lie. And they say, I'm in Atlanta. And people don't even know who Marcus is. Y'all liars. Y'all are liars. It don't say this YouTube world is just us. People, more people watch YouTube than not. I be on the train, people be watching, they be watching like downloaded shit from YouTube. At work, people are watching that shit from YouTube. If I'm fucking in a restaurant, people be having a YouTube over there watching streaming and podcasting is the biggest thing. Everybody's not watching celebrities. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Atlanta ain't that fucking big, y'all. What is wrong with y'all? People said that people don't want him on the street of Atlanta. Now we got people calling it, oh, people don't even know. Do you even tell people what you watch? Are you telling them honestly what you're watching? Because a lot of people are very ashamed about the content that they view online. And they don't tell their family members that thing. I'm a crazy motherfucker. I tell them everything. Shit, y'all people that know me from the beef sector. Shit, mama know about the beef sector. Auntie know about the characters in the beef sector. My elderly aunt loved when Krista and Lemon were going together and shit, and Krista getting on with her big wig, and I told my aunt, I said, look at Krista, look at the wig she got on titty. Krista got them titties busted up. Look at her. You get what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed about what I'm watching. This is like with the John Ritter fucking old movies. Stay tuned. This is fucking Stay Tuned. And they pull us in their world, and we interact with them, And they say that, oh, people are too invested. Well, how can you say that when this is real people's lives? I'm just trying to understand, where's the disconnect? Where's the humanity? Where's the emotion for anybody? The sympathy. And if you've ever been in a victim situation, then the empathy. Do we turn a blind eye and a cold heart because of Marcus? Who the fuck is Marcus? Marcus ain't nobody. Marcus ain't getting in no pearly gates before anybody. He be the last motherfucker to wait. If y'all believe in heaven and hell, which I don't ask me about that, but the concept, the basic concept, either you go to heaven, you go to hell, right? The basic concept. You're not talking about my beliefs. You're talking about basic concepts. If Marcus was to go to sleep tonight and never wake up, where do you think he would be going? So why do everybody act like he's this martyr? Marcus do good things. So because I gave a homeless man my breakfast sandwich a few times in the morning when I was fucking hungry from working a 14-hour shift, that make me a saint? No, it makes me human, okay. But does it make me a saint? Hold on, y'all. I gotta wet my whistle. Thank you. I am terrific. I appreciate that. You know, and maybe I'm being a bit of pessimist. I just really don't see him getting in trouble. But I see those girls. Oh, those girls are gonna be some super sluts. You know what I'm saying? I see it happening. Um, they say he had the girls' pictures on the site. Let me get back to that point. They said they had it on the site. His kids are exposed to everything and every pervert. He sells them to these guys. He's selling his kids to that. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. He laughs about this stuff. This is not normal, and they really need to any kind of unsolved crimes around Atlanta metro area or outside Atlanta. They really need to start looking at Marcus because he has this dark side about him. And people say, "Oh, you're going too far." Nah, mm-mm. It's something else going on. He's not ashamed about this, and to me, this is the epitome, rock gut, dirty of the dirtiest shit. And he's just not ashamed to show this to the world, even to his family, his friends, his pastor seeing this, and he's not ashamed. And I wouldn't be amazed if the pastor, the church that he goes to, that he grew up to, that the pastor and them were having the intercourse. Well, he said his mother was a pastor too, but if they weren't having intercourse, a lot of those clergy people, they be going on these conventions like, I don't want to say nothing, but they be having swinger parties and stuff like that, and they be having sex in these churches. You get what I'm saying? It'd be a better sin. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't understand him. And he said his mother is clergy. Why would your mother be doing sex tapes then? That would make her a bit modest. Yeah, she's human. She want to have sex, but she wouldn't be doing sex tapes, especially with children walking around the household. Because we're talking about family, respect, morals. We wouldn't be doing sex tapes. We wouldn't be doing it. We wouldn't be doing it. We wouldn't be doing it. So this is who we're dealing with. And as y'all dig deeper, y'all might find out some stuff about Marcus's, family and stuff like that. I just, if people say, how can you talk about children? Well, he talks about other people's children. His daughter is 17. I mean, is that really a kid? And that's what he says, right? That would be how he look at it. So we're gonna treat his daughters how everything. Oh, and then you saw that fucking guy that was eating with Marcus. He was at the same place as Marcus, and Marcus was like, "Oh, did you know I was gonna be here?" And the man and Marcus the man introduced Marcus to his daughter. He said, "My daughter was down the block." This man has just been accused of manipulating an underage girl. And the first thing you say to him is that my daughter is down the block, was down the block taking a class. That's the first thing you do is introduce your daughter. But think about it. Marcus put his daughter up on the site. So now this man is offering his daughter. He says, "Oh, my daughter." And he's talking. And he goes, "Oh, how old are you? 15, 10th grade? Oh, that's what grade my daughter's going into." Did y'all fucking catch that? When he's having this interaction, this man offered his daughter up, and then he's having this interaction, and yes, and he commented on, "Watch your exactly. I'm terrific." So why nobody caught that, and why nobody's talking about that? Why is nobody fucking talking about that shit? Did you see him offer his daughter up too? Oh my gosh. What you say? Hold on, Mo. Mo dropped from the skybox. Big booty Mo. That's my homegirl. Hold on. What does he have the time to really be attended to those events and be with other people? I think this is his whole life. Yeah, it is. I said that his daughter's gonna be pregnant in that household. Something's gonna happen. His home shit. CJ could have came by and fucked with them little girls. Some girls saw CJ having sex. When Marcus is editing, that apartment is not big. So when Marcus is editing and he has this thing over, you don't think his daughter saw Polo and them having sex and stuff like that, or he's telling them, "Oh, let me teach you something about photography or whatever. Don't look at the scene. Sex is natural. Look at the angles and stuff." You don't think he's teaching his daughters that? You gotta be careful with these fucking people. Let me go down. Okay, then he bumped into the daughter. I commented, watch your daughter. Yep, I did it. Yeah, I did it real time. Felt that. Yeah, okay. You felt that, right? So Mo, what did I tell you? You hit on the daughter and you scratched the surface. You was weird. You was in the right fucking place. And I'm listening to your replay. And I'm saying, Mo, I need you to go a little bit further. Mo, and you went over. I said, Mo, I needed you to stay right there. You was right there, right there. That was your whole life right there. That was your whole, and I needed you to do this. And because I didn't want to come on and do this, because people are used to my mouth being ruthless and shit like that. You are more polished than me when you put things. You're more careful because you have a monetized channel. You're very careful and stuff with word. Me, I'm gutter. So people won't understand what I'm saying. They'll get you more. They'll get you more because you're a little nicer to it. Me, they be like, oh my gosh, you believe she called them 5 motherfuckers in under 5 seconds, but they're not getting what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, bro? But you was there. You was there. Where the fuck are you, Jeff? Jeff, if you in the fucking clouds, Jeff, drop your motherfucking ass down, Jeff. I need Jeff. Where the fuck is Jeff? Mo, thank you for introducing me to Jeff. That's my motherfucking homeboy right there. Jeff and Jeff. Jeff Faru. But yeah. Yeah, I caught that. When that man offered his daughter up in that restaurant, he said, oh, my daughter's going to 10th grade too. And I said, oh shit, this man in less than a week has just been accused of violating the minor. And here you are telling him, I have my daughter here, Marcus. People do anything to be part of something. That man was looking at Marcus like he was motherfucking Bobby Brown back in 87. You get what I'm saying? That man was looking at him like if he was looking at Shaka Khan in her motherfucking prime. Or Mr. T back in 83. You get what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit. And then something said, see, I was cleaning when Marcus Live was on, right? Somebody hit me up, a birdie hit me up. They said, bitch, you talking to me, bitch. You gotta talk to me, bitch, later. Marcus is live. I said, oh shit. And I did my cha-cha slide over there. But I was cleaning. I was hitting a person texting in between my cleaning, but I was cleaning. But I did sit down for a second and I saw the chat and I blocked about 4 people at the end of the chat. And I kept, and I'm not gonna lie, in between me cleaning and listening to Marcus, I had to keep on turning it off because it was really bothering me. P said the same thing. She was in somebody else's chat while they were playing it live. I went over there, and when I went over there, I remember like putting down my cleaning, my disinfectant rags to go back to my phone to try to find something else to listen to. So, and I said, no, go back, go back, go back, go back, because if you're gonna go ahead and talk to your people, the people, because we all one community, let's talk. You gotta listen to him, and and certain people I can't listen to. Marcus, I can't. It's hard. It's very hard for me to speak with Marcus. Um, Marcus said something off on you, and I don't know. I think that Marcus, and I'm gonna tell you, I think that Marcus, a lot of people were not traumatized as children. However, as we listen to these stories listen to these stories of other people as children during these years, all these years, the stories we've heard, I think that we put ourselves in their shoes vicariously. So now we look at it, we're not looking at it as a viewer. We're not looking at it because, like I said, a lot of people were not victimized. A lot of us were not victimized. A lot of us were victimized, right? It's a 50-50 thing, men and women, right? Or was exposed to too much. When I say victimized, I'm not just talking about somebody talking it, I'm touching you. I'm talking about looking at stuff. Some of us wasn't, some of us wasn't, right? So let me go into somebody that wasn't, right? When someone's talking to me, a lot of times I don't want to look at the screen. I want to listen to your story. A lot of times when you have content creators and they come on camera, I won't look at them. I'm listening to them. I want to listen to you. And if you're talking about a story with emotion and stuff like that, like Mo shared an emotion with something with her family, whatever, I listened to it without looking at her, and I was able to feel the emotion. So that's the same place I put myself in when I listen to these stories of these people, to the point that I couldn't listen to them no more. I couldn't listen to the point no more because Marcus would ask them questions that were quite uncomfortable. And today, as I listened to him, I felt the anger of these victims that he had on his channel. I felt their sorrow on me all in one time. And I don't want to be too deep with y'all, but I'm a feeling person. Everybody want to say, oh, they're empathetic. Nah, yo, empathy. Walking in the room and instantly feeling the fucking energy. Walking in the room and being happy, and then when you walk out, you're in a fucked up mood because somebody, one person, they shit was unbalanced. So now you done picked up they shit. When somebody said, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm meeting their energy. That's not what that is, meeting their energy. These victims that we listen to, these people on the street, we're feeling them. And Marcus, that's a dirty motherfucker, baby. That's a dirty motherfucker. And as he talked today, and I don't know why do y'all hate me, motherfucker, because we do. We fucking hate you. I hate you like I hate a motherfucker when I watch a fucking news story and I hear a motherfucker do something to a fucking baby or a fucking elderly person or somebody minding their fucking business. That shit enrages me. Be crazy, be sadistic, be masochistic, be fucking deviant, be every type of decrepit motherfucking description in the fucking dictionary, motherfucker, in your own society, in your own community, and leave the fucking vulnerable alone. And people like us, we don't want to see this motherfucking trash. Nigga, you gotta get the fuck offline. You gotta go. Go into fucking the. We don't need shit like this. Here it is. We as the human fucking race, okay? Fuck that. I'm black first, but you get a human race. We gotta live amongst everybody. We trying to make this society fucking cleaner. Here it is. In a couple of years, I'm gonna adopt some babies, okay? And I don't want them in the fucking world walking around with fucking your grandkids and you. And people like fucking you and people that watch this dirty shit. Because the more and more we watch this shit, the more and more it becomes normal to a lot of fucking people that don't got common sense. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that don't got ethics and common sense. We saw a motherfucker right here offer his motherfucking 15-year-old daughter up to fucking Marcus when Marcus was accused of fucking touching a 16, 17-year-old. Are you fucking kidding me? And I say 16 and 17-year-old because when Marcus met the girl, she is just freshly 17. It's only been 60 fucking days and 45 days when he did do with her probably. Okay? We New Yorkers. Ah, shit. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to have to run it fucking back now. Run it back. Please run it back. Absolutely. She's in the 10th grade. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's popping? He's watching, and he followed Marcus. But see, I'm going to tell you, here's the flip side of this. He was a Marcus fan. Marcus didn't even know this man until this man introduced himself. Imagine somebody, Marcus showed us every place he liked to go. He showed the lounges he liked to go to, the barbershops the barbershop he go to, where he lived, what he drives. We know Marcus' whole thing. There's a motherfucker that Marcus might not even get to do another video next year because Marcus might be another YouTube fucking story about, hey, people won't fuck around and find out what people on live. And I'm not dog whistling anybody, but that was scary that everybody know how you look, you and your family, and you don't know how nobody look. This man could have been anybody. This man could have had a knife or gun on him. Marcus said, how do you know I was going to be here? And the bell went off to him, and then it went away once the man started fanning out over him. And I said, Marcus, you thinking right, motherfucker. You are easily accessible. But then the light turned off because he was about to go there like, wait a fucking minute. And he said, what you thought? You was going to me? I was like, nah, my daughter was across the street. And when he said something about his young daughter, well, Marcus said, okay, end the story. Okay, never mind. He threw Marcus off. But that could have been a play too. You know what I mean? But we saw his face as Marcus said, I'm going to put you on camera. And then the light turned back on for that Gemini. He said, wait a minute, just in case. He might be a crazy fan or he might be a motherfucker that don't like me. Just in case y'all see this motherfucker right here, I'm going to put you on camera. That's why he turned the camera around on that man. Because it turned off, his switch turned on with the man like, wait a minute, how you know it's here? And then when the man said, oh, I told my daughter, and then it turned off, and then he thought about it again, and said, let me turn the camera around on this motherfucker. Marcus could be God, and Marcus got to understand that motherfuckers is not scared of him. They already know he's packing. He told people the secret, I'm packing. Once you tell people you packing, they say, okay, this nigga got a gun, so we're going to light this we're going to Swiss him up before he can even try to reach. Marcus tells you he's vulnerable. He left his car door unlocked. Somebody could have put a motherfucking little cherry bomb under there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, yo, bitch, you going to extreme. Yo, we have crazy motherfuckers out there. You got motherfuckers waiting in the bushes of golf courses with secret services. I mean, secret services. Excuse me, secret service men all fucking around and to pop the fucking president. These are the motherfuckers we live in society. We got a motherfucker that got mad at the CEO of United fucking Healthcare. As the CEO, he really don't. He's just a figurehead. He don't really do shit. He make a lot of money, but he really don't. And waited for him, followed him to New York to pop this motherfucker. So why would it be so far fetched for someone to go in Marcus's Jeep where there's no doors and no coverage, no roof, to go ahead and put maybe a tracker? You know, people could put a tracker in their car because a lot of people find trackers under their car. I mean, that's nothing. I was about to say you can go to Radio Shack. That's how old my ass is. When you go to one of them electronics, that nigga was about to say fucking Radio Shack. God, I'm old. Hold on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And put a lot of people find them trackers. So Marcus can be got, and he's easy accessible. Everybody know he got a blue Jeep. Everybody know he's so super short now. A lot of things. Marcus is so little, motherfucker could put them under his motherfucker, snatch Marcus from the street, put them Marcus under their motherfucking armpit, and run and throw him in a fucking car somewhere. Marcus is little, please. Let me read the thing, the chat. Okay, yeah. Speaking on not being able to watch the live because it was too much. When I was young, I used to cry if people fought. It would be strangers' family. It was like I felt they fear and angry. Yeah, you can. My internet is out. It went totally out. You see my hand? My internet is out.